Number 33. The mountain of desire grows ever higher. Bigger, bigger, bigger until bam, the balloon breaks. If only you had stopped sooner when it was still small. Let yourself run wild and you explode. End up with zero. This is desire. A celebrity who prided himself on his millions lost everything when the economy tanked. He sold his mansion and his fancy car and now lives under a heavy burden of debt. The mountain of desire grows ever higher. Let me read it again. The mountain of desire grows even ever higher. Bigger, bigger, bigger until bam, the balloon breaks. If only you had stopped sooner when it was still small. Let yourself run wild and you explode. End up with zero. This is desire. A celebrity who prided himself on his millions lost everything when the economy tanked. He sold his mansion and his fancy car and now lives under a heavy burden of debt. The mountain of desire grows ever higher. We hear a lot of successful people's episode who enjoy a life of pomp and material abundance, and everything seems to be good for them, as if they don't have this problem. But I think those people who receive spotlight or limelight must be just a very, very small number of people who haven't experienced this serious problem of human desire yet. People who are still remain at the peak of the mountain without falling into the abyss. But behind the scenes, there are millions, or I don't know, so many people whose balloon already exploded, and people who lost everything, the people who live under heavy burden of debt, although they used to be so wealthy, and people who enjoy higher status. But because their desire grew higher, the mountain of their desire grew higher and higher, and they were overwhelmed by their own desire. And then they were enjoying themselves being overwhelmed by their own desire until they realized that they are falling down. Simple example is people who have won a big lottery end up being under heavy burden of debt. And people who invested so much money on real estate, and the bubble, it was literally bubble. The bubble grew bigger and bigger, and then it exploded. And then people lost everything. I heard such story in maybe it was late 1990. Yeah, a bubble exploded in Japan. I was living in Japan at that time. I don't know the situation in the United States, but yeah, bubble have the fate of exploding. So the culprit is human desire, because we expect the bubble becomes limitlessly big, but it doesn't happen in that way. Uh, but there's no limitation in human desire. So this is the problem. There is a gap, discrepancy between the reality and the reality of human desire. So we all have this, and this is so deep rooted. Only antidote to this problem is having clear awareness of our human nature. This is the only antidote. It's not possible to reduce our desire. Even if we can reduce our desire for temporarily, to some extent, maybe we will have a rebound, and our desire might grow much bigger than before. So, yeah, many people in Buddhist community thought the desire is the root cause of human suffering. So only way to achieve happiness is to reduce their desire and ultimately to eliminate the desire. But this is not possible. Thank you, Stan. Yeah. So, yeah, we are made of desire and anger, which is called worldly passions in Buddhism. So we need another path. The happiness we can achieve by not eliminating our desire, but the desire will be the source of joy. There is such a happiness. And that is taught very clearly in Pure Land Buddhism. So let's keep on our good work and move forward on our spiritual journey. So good job, everyone. That's all for today's recitation meditation practice.